Marco, the distance runner. The marathon guy.
Oh, yeah. Hey, he's a nice guy. Really.
He would have been a good football player too if he'd been dead.
It's been a long time, 3 years of not having it, so we're back. Good evening, and the Board of Governors of the Armstrong County Sports Hall of Fame would like to welcome you to our 48th annual Induction Banquet. On behalf of the Board, I would like to congratulate and take this opportunity to thank the class of 2023 and these young people student honorees sitting in front of us right now. At this time, everybody please stand and pledge allegiance. Flags over here. I pledge allegiance Okay, thank you. We'd like to honor everybody in our service on that too. Okay, at this time, Jenny Wolfer, Jay, you want to come up and do these introductions? Jenny's going to introduce the county officials and also these 2019 inductees.
Okay, thank you for coming. We were concerned how many people would still be interested in the Hall of Fame because of COVID. 3 years ago, we were ready to go. We had a nice group of people signed up, and then, of course, things happened. We couldn't have a banquet. Fortunately, 5 of the 11 we were inducted. We'd like that to be their destination for this thing, too. But at this time, I have the pleasure of introducing about 23 of our past inductees that are in attendance. We'll be inducting, the time we've done that, we've got over 500 inductees. It's about 250 of them still with us. So we get about 10% of them coming back. So I think that's very indicative of their support for us. And again, those of you come out, because of different many times, we get good people coming back every year, looking for that in the future. So we think it's stronger now than everything. Our board will stay together. We didn't lose anybody other than Halifax today. So without any further delay here, let me introduce you. I'd like each person I call to please rise. Please hold the applause for our students. The applause one time for all. Okay? First of all, the class of 1974. Ed Hobart. Please hold the applause, please. Ed, please say this to your family. No? Class of 77. Frank, a.k.a. Chico Franceschi. Chico there? Get up there. Come on, get up. Okay. Thank you. Class 89. Gary Rich. Gary Rich. Class 2000. Martha Gorley. Class 2001. James Sanchez. Class 2003. Frank Collins. Class of 2006, Ray Barker. Class of 2007, Bill Dillon, Brian Lobaugh, and John Sanchez. Class 2008, Larry Warrenville and Brian Schwartlander. Class 2009, Tom Stahl and Dennis Blows. Class of 2010, Peter Schaefer. Class of 2012, Russ Woodward. Class of 2013, Dave Stewart. Class of 14, Shane Barker. Class of 15, Mike Smith. Class of 16, Joe. Class of 17, Mark Kodak. Class of 18, Greg Fox and Jack Swire. Did I miss anybody? No? Got everybody? Thank you. How about applause for all, please? Okay, the five people that lost their banquet 3 years ago, what we did, we invited all 11 of them back, and 6 of them could not make it. So the 5 that have come, we want to recognize them. Rick Muffy, would you please stand? Where's Rick at? Where's Rick? Okay. Rick's a graduate of Shannagelly High School, Indiana University, Pennsylvania. And while at Shannagelly, he competed 4 years in football, basketball, and track. While at IUP, Rick competed in football and track. Congratulations, Rick. Diane Geis, women volleyball coach at Mock High School, very successful. Diane's a graduate of Freeport High School and Indiana University. She played softball, basketball, and volleyball at Freeport. Went to Indiana University, Pennsylvania, and played volleyball. As head volleyball coach at Mock High School, she won 3 WPL titles and a PIAA state title. Congratulations, Diane. This is a posthumous induction. Person I was very close to. His daughter, Autumn, is going to represent the families. Everett LaShore Sr. He's an archer. He was also a great basketball player, too. The archery was his #1 love. Everett graduated Leechburg High School, played basketball, began his competitive archery career, was a member of the Chieftain Archery Club in Elgin Township. He won 13 Pennsylvania State Archery Championships. Congratulations to the Everett LaShore family. Next one is from Worthington. It's Dale Ruth, and he is in as a special award builder category. Dale's a graduate of the old Worthington West Frankfort High School. Played hockey in the men's league at Belmont until he was 65 years old. He's being inducted as a builder for his work as a video goal judge for 14 years with National Hockey League's officiating department. Congratulations, Dale. The next one is Derek Schaefer, who's going for football. He's a graduate of Shannagelly High School, Indiana University, and Our Lady of the Lake University in San Antonio. While at Shannagelly, he competed in basketball, football, baseball, and track, earned 12 letters, and was named Outstanding Senior Athlete, earning Team MVP honors in 3 sports. Congratulations, Derek. Now, this is a little different. Coach Frank Powers, you please stand. Get him up there, Bill. We have a policy that unless you attend the banquet, you cannot be inducted. And the West Shamokin group found Richard Jameson, who I honestly had never heard of him, and we voted him in about 4 or 5 years ago. Richard sent me a nice letter and said, I live in Arizona, I can't go back, I'm 75 years old. So we didn't induct him. So when we had to make this special arrangement with the COVID group, we decided this would be time to take care of Richard. Richard was one of Dayton's outstanding players. People don't know Dayton High School. I think this is the third or fourth year's coach now that we're going in. I remember Donnie Sander, Lee McCullough, I think were 2 of your players, right? And Sloniker. So this will be the fourth one from Little Dayton High School. And I can remember being a fan of Leechburg basketball. When you went into that Dayton gym, those kids defended every inch of that floor. You were lucky to get a win. Leechburg, rarely got a win in Dayton. So anyway, here's the story on Rich now. This is quite impressive, and I don't know how we missed him. He's a graduate of Dayton and Norfolk State University in Virginia. He's a 4-year starter at Dayton and the team captain. And while at Dayton, he was selected all-conference, all-section, all-state. Helped lead Norfolk State to the NCAA regionals. His teammate was a future Milwaukee Buck named Bob Dandridge. Those of you who know professional basketball remember Lou Alcindor, who's now Premier Abdul-Jabbar, played for the Milwaukee Bucks early in Alcindor's career. Well, this Dandridge was his teammate. So this Richard Jameson, we're really happy to have him, Coach. It's a long time coming. So again, thank you, Coach, for all the work you did with those kids today.
Dick Jamison deserves to be here.
Yes.
Outstanding young man in school and in the U.S. Army and also for the community.
Right. His bio is in the program book. He was in Nigeria coaching, I think, too. He had quite a career. He was a good guy. I talked to him on the phone. And that concludes it. Thank you. It's been my privilege to introduce these people.
Okay, at this time I'd like to call up now. You'll notice there's a change in your program. Sally Snyder is going to give the invocation. She called me this morning, couldn't make it, and Jared Phillips, Tom's son, kindly was going to do that for us. After he's done, we're going to be around to tell you what tables we're going to have dinner, and then we'll come back and start the rest of the program. Thank you, Jared.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Please bow your heads for the invocation. Breath of the universe, for this event and for this gathering of leaders and talent, examples and excellence, record breakers and memory makers, we give thanks. You, O God, delight in a life that is lived abundantly. Through sports and teamwork, championships and games well played, we have found abundance in using our talents, supporting our teammates, bringing pride to our towns and schools. As we gather at table and share stories and a meal together, bless our evening. May the moments remembered and the new memories made be a joy that lasts and fills us now and onward. Amen.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the women will be around to tell you when to go. The serving lines are back there, and Kathy and her group will get you started. And then when we come back, we'll get started with the rest of the banquet. Thank you. program. At this time, I'd like to call Mr. John Graff up, and he's going to discuss the scholarships. Speak right into it.
At this time, we would like to recognize our 2023 high school student athletes. One male and one female were chosen by their respective schools to receive a $500 scholarship given by the Armstrong County Sports Hall of Fame. Please stand when I call your name. We ask that you hold your applause till the end. Sean McCullough, Maddie McConnell. These two will receive the Frank Brochetti Scholarship given to West Shamokin students. Braylon Lovelace, Anna Civic, Brady Stuyvesant, Ava Solis, Caden Olson, who could not make it today. He's at Big 33 practice. Cassidy Adams. And Cassidy and Caden both received the scholarship sponsored by the 700 Shop. Dominic Hersey and Brindley Tolan. Congratulations. We wish you well in all your future endeavors.
Okay, you guys can sit down, because I'm going to get you back up here in a minute. Thank you, John. Okay, one of the things here I want to do is we've got some people we want to thank, and I know that everybody's like that. But George Guido over here, I want to thank George for everything he's done for high school sports in the Alakissis Valley. George, you want to stand up? He's retiring this year. Let's give George a big round of applause. You know, we're four of us up with the coach, and we know what George is like, and we appreciate him a lot. We're going to miss you, George, and you and Brenda have a good time in your retirement. And Brenda, make sure you go to a lot of card games, right? Okay. Also want to give special thanks back here, ladies and gentlemen. Sitting back here are Josh Shrengloss and Joe Rhodes from Highcroft Sports Network. Gang, what they do for Armstrong County Sports is amazing. These guys are streaming this right now. Also, they do a lot of the high school volleyball, baseball, softball, football, basketball. You know, they do a lot of that stuff for Armstrong County, and we really appreciate that thing. And also, they're going to be doing a lot of new things here in the future. So, you know, they want you to keep an eye on their Facebook page and keep an eye on what they're doing there. And please support, they're going to be doing an interview with George pretty soon. So, George, you need to make sure you smile, right? So those two will be doing an interview with George. And please support Joe and Josh in their endeavors, because like I said, they do a tremendous job. They also want to thank Ray Bartha and Fred Solis for all they did and help them out. So give a nice round of applause for Joe, Rose, and Josh Shrengloss. And lastly, I'd like to thank Kelly Meter. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we haven't been up there for a while, and Kelly took over the hall up here, and you can just look at this. She did a great job setting this up, her and her staff. And also Kathy Starr. I've been to banquets that took a lot longer to feed everybody, and Kathy and her crew do a tremendous job getting everybody through in a short period of time. So I want to give a special shout out to those people too. Thank you. You know, as a former teacher and coach, it's an honor to be able to present these young people sitting here in the front. They have demonstrated what can be accomplished with hard work and dedication, both on the field and also in the classroom. So with that, from Apollo Ridge High School, Brindley Tolan. Brindley is the daughter of Shane Barker and Casey Tolan. She's a four-year letter winner in volleyball and basketball. She was selected as AK Athlete of the Week for volleyball and basketball. And as a basketball player, she was second team all-conference, first team all-section her junior year, and first team her senior year, and named to the Alakiski first team all-star team. As a volleyball player, she was all-section, Class A player of the league, leader times terrific 12, Indiana Gazette all-star team, and a Paul Ridge MVP tournament. Ridley played in the We Serve First All-Star Volleyball Classic, which was the first year, which this gentleman right here, as I will tell you later, coached in. That's tremendous for the area. And also played in the Cajun Classic, which was done at Highlands High School. She's a high honor roll student and will attend West Virginia University major in nursing and health science. Congratulations, Brenda. In Highlands High School, Nick Kersey. Nick is the son of Matthew and Kristen Kersey. He competed in football, basketball, and track and field. He's a three-time all-conference linebacker and running back, and was selected as a Valley News Dispatch Player of the Year for 2022. As a member of the track team, he placed sixth in the discus at the WPL Individual Championships, and he's on the Paul Ridge Honor Roll, member of the National Honor Society, received the Academic Excellence Award. Nick is going to attend Duquesne University, play football, and also major in nursing. Congratulations, Nick. From Armstrong High School, Cassidy Adams. Cassidy is the daughter of Keith and Bernice Adams. She was a 4-year letter winner in volleyball, 3-year letter winner in softball. As a member of the volleyball team, she was first team all-section for 3 years, all WPL for 3 years, and was selected to the all-state volleyball team. Cassidy played in many tournaments and was selected to play in the We Serve First All-Star Volleyball Classic. As a member of the softball team, she was all-section and leader times Super 17 All-Star team. Cassidy helped lead Armstrong to a section championship and WPL runner-up, and WPL championship and PIA runner-up. She's a member of the National Honor Society and will attend Robert Morris University to study nursing. Congratulations, Cassidy. Now, John told you Peyton is at Big 33 practice today, but I want to read his bio, and we appreciate Peyton being here. Peyton is the son of Ryan and Julian Olson. He was a 4-year letter winner in football and basketball. Peyton was all-state and all-conference quarterback, 2-time WPL passing leader, and this year he was the only one to ever win the Willie Thrower Award 2 times. He was selected to be the leader times player of the year and played in the Big 33 Classic, where he's at today for practice. He was all-conference player in basketball and played in the Alakiski Cajun Classic. Caden was an HSFA Academic All-American and will attend the University of Pennsylvania this fall, play football and major in biology. Congratulations, Caden. From Freeport High School, Ava Solis. Ava is the daughter of Fred and Kim Solis. She was a 4-year letter winner in basketball and a 3-year letter winner in volleyball. As a member of the basketball team, she was 3-time all-section team member and was selected to play in the Alakiski Cajun Classic. While on the volleyball team, Ava was selected 3 times all-section and 2 times all-WPIAL. She helped the team win 3 WPL titles and 1 PIA state title. She's a member of the National Honor Society and will attend college and major in business and marketing. Congratulations, Ava. From Freeport High School, Brady Stuyvesant. Brady is the son of Sean and Aaron Stuyvesant. He was a 3-time letter winner in football, basketball, and baseball. It was captain for the football and basketball teams. Brady was Allegheny 6 Conference first-team wide receiver and second-team kick returner. He was selected honorable mention for the Butler Eagles second team and Tribune Review and PA Football News all-academic gold team. Brady is a member of the National Honor Society and was a distinguished honor roll for 4 years. Brady will attend college and major in business education. Congratulations, Brady. From Leesburg High School, Anna Siddick. Anna is the daughter of Eric and Janelle Siddick. She was a 4-year letter winner in softball, cheerleading, and a 3-year three-year letter winner in volleyball. As a member of the softball team, Anna was selected to the Leader Time All-Star Team, first team All-Section, and Alakisky Athlete of the Week. While playing volleyball, she was first team section All-Star and played in the League First Serve All-Star Volleyball Classic. Anna is a member of the National Honor Society, received the School Scholar Athlete Award, and will attend Westminster College and continue her athletic and academic career. Congratulations, Anna. And Leesburg High School, Braylon Lovelace. Braylon is the son of David and Danielle Lovelace. He was a four-year letter winner in football and basketball, and also a member of the track team. Braylon was selected to the fabulous 22, fantastic 15, and terrific 25 football teams. He was voted first team all-conference as a running back and linebacker. Braylon holds school records for most TDs in a game and is an all-time leading rusher with 4,170 yards. He is a member of the National Honor Society and has been on the Ohio Honor Roll. Braylon is currently enrolled at Pitt, where he played in the spring game this year and will continue his football career there. Congratulations, Braylon. And from West Logan High School, Maddie McConnell. Maddie is the daughter of Doug and Chrissy McConnell. She's a four-year letter winner in volleyball, two-year winner in softball, and one-year letter winner in basketball. As a member of the volleyball team, she was selected to the All-State team 2 years, 3 years to the All-Conference and District 6 first team. Maddie was also selected to the All-Gazette softball team for 2 years. She will attend IUP, major in early childhood education and special education. Congratulations, Maddie. Our last one is West Logan High School, is Sean McCullough. Sean is the son of Angeline and Judd McCullough. He was a four-year golf letter winner and three-year letter winner in basketball. As a member of the golf team, he won the Heritage Individual Championship and helped lead the team to the District 6 Championship place and the individual PIA State Tournament. He was a member of the basketball team, which was Heritage Classic Conference champs. He also played in the Cajun Classic, and he works part-time for the Josh and Joe back there, so that's a nice honor, too. He was on the honor roll, selected as Student of the Month. Sean plans on attending Penn State Altoona, play golf, and major in accounting and business. Congratulations, Sean. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give these young kids a round of applause. Like I told you, man, they're tremendous, not only academically, but athletically. So we're happy to have these young people here today. Okay, at this time, I'm going to bring up Denny Wolf, and he's going to just talk a little bit about the sponsors. Denny?
We like to think we do some things at Hall of Fame that other Hall of Fames don't do. And myself being a former teacher, principal, and big sports fan, people like Bill Dillon here, Bill Hancock, and a lot of my other fellow board members, you know, we do appreciate the fact that the word student precedes the word athlete. It's your education first, but there's so much you can gather from the athletics that you can't quantify. Always, as a principal, I've always been a big supporter of our athletic programs. The scholarship program, we brought that to the Hall of Fame here about 15 years ago. Being a high school principal, we were aware that Cal had some scholarships out. And we thought, well, maybe we could do that too, maybe on a little smaller scale, but we keep all the money in Armstrong County. So we initiated our Scholar Athlete program, and it's evolved through various stages through the years, to the point that we've simplified it. And basically what we do is we let the high school administrations nominate the kids for scholarships. We tell them, you've got to send us good students. So every one of these kids who've got $500 tonight, it's because their school administration said, these are our best student athletes, not just students, student athletes, okay? Now, this would not be possible without the generous donations of the companies you see behind me on these banners, okay? To get one of those banners, you have to donate a minimum of $500 to our scholarship fund each year, okay? And like I said, we have other ways of making money too, but the key part is donations from the businesses and so forth. We handed out $5,000 this year. We didn't get that much in donations, but we had other sources to get the money. Now, I'd like to recognize the very generous donors that are here tonight, that without their help, this would not be possible. The first one, I'm going to recognize George Guido, representing Trip Total Media. George, please stand. Also, the 700 shop, Tony Luke. Where's Tony at? Where you at? Tony, where you at? Tony donated $1,000. Believe me, we really appreciate Tony. We really do. Thank you. Clint Rosenberg, where's he at? Clint is president of Next Year Bank, and again, we've got a kind donation from them every year. And we also got donations from Rosebud Mining. They don't have anybody here. Also, Snyder's are not here. And also, last but not least, fellow board member John Graff Insurance Agency. Where's John at? Where's he at? Thank you very much, sir. Also, we also get support from our elected county officials, and some of them are in attendance. I would like to recognize them. These are elected officials that are very supportive of our Hall of Fame. From the 60th Legislative District, Abby Major. Armstrong County Commissioner Pat Fabian. And District Justice Jerry Tacoma. Did I miss any county elected officials? County elected, I got them all? Okay, thank you very much. Okay, Bill, back to you.
I had to get a glass of water for Denny. My mouth's dry. Thank you, Denny, for bringing that up. Well, okay, ladies and gentlemen, this brings us time everybody's waiting for, to the induction of the Hall of Fame class for 2023. Today, you're going to honor those who have not only contributed as athletes, coaches, and sportsmen, but we are also going to honor those and thank those who have given service to our country. Now, as I told these guys, usually we put, everybody asks me, when I go? Well, I did a random draw this year, so you go and you go. Our first inductee is being inducted as a football coach, John Barkovic. John is a graduate of Fort City High School and the University of Pennsylvania. He has held coaching positions at Shannock Valley, Armstrong East, and Fort City High School. John has a combined record of 159, 103, and 5. While at Fort City, his teams won 5 conference titles, qualified 3 times for the WPIL semifinals, and 4 times for the WPIL quarterfinals. His team also set numerous records for points scored, allowed, and most wins in a season. For his efforts, John was named Coach of the Year 5 times by the Leader Times, and in 2005, the Valley News Dispatch Coach of the Year. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome John Barkovic.
But I'm not sure. But I'd like to congratulate all the other inductees and thank the Hall of Fame for voting me in. I'd just like to start by saying I love football. I mean, I really love it. Not many people can do what they like to do or love to do. I liked everything about it, the physical part of the game, the mental part of the game, the preparation, the plays, the excitement of the game. I even like the smell of the grass when it gets turned up in August in the summertime, and football guys know what I mean. I even got to the point during two-a-days, we'd have somebody that would not change their uniform for 2 weeks. And I even start to like that smell after a while. So anybody who was around football knows what I'm talking about. Just to tell you quickly how I got into this, I was started at Shannock Valley. The head coach, Pete Lazzari, was killed in a car accident a few weeks before the season. and they asked me to take over. I really think I was just like the only warm body left. And my daughter was 2 months old. I had a house 70% built, and I'm thinking, I can't do this. Well, anyhow, I ended up doing it, and I stayed a little longer than I thought 30 years later. But we won the conference title 2 years in a row. And I thought, boy, I'm a pretty good coach. And after time, the next year we were 1-9. And I'm thinking, I'm really not that good. But why we were good those first 2 years, I got to give a lot of credit to the kids we had. They were exceptional athletes. We had a great defensive guy, Frank Palilla, a Rural Valley guy. He was a great mentor to me, and he was an excellent coach. From there, I moved to Fort City, which was my alma mater, and I'm getting ready for the season, and our athletic director, Dave Schick, says, hey, I got the first game for you, and you could pick at the time. It was Borough, and I almost fell over. I was like, they were WPIL champs, Dave. They were state runner-ups. They dressed 74 kids, and we dressed 28. This is not going to work out well. But we beat them 21-14 to start that year, and it kind of got us started and got our kids believing we might be able to win. So we went from a few wins a year to maybe making the winning season, to making the playoffs, to winning some conference titles. And we really had the attitude of, we were like, hope to win in the beginning to where we expected to win at the end. And those were all great times for us. But I'd like to thank the players and coaches together because they want us to move us along. I had excellent coaches. They're all sitting over here. If they give a wave, they want to go on, just give a wave over there, guys. And this table over here. There's a lot of my guys that were with me for 18 years. And to some of the coaches and players up together, they were all hard-nosed, physical kind of players. They had a mental and a physical toughness to them. We prepared well. We never argued once in 18 years, and people would call bull on that. We decided collectively, and we won and lost collectively, and we got along real well. It was real good times. I got to give Ed Cutts a lot of credit for us. He was our defensive coordinator 18 years. Ed did an excellent job over there. And I do got to tell you back to the Borough game at a glance. Before we walked out, a football guy who was always, again, he came over to me and he said, hey, don't worry, no one expects you to win. We're looking for a couple good plays on offensive defense. And I was like, I'm thinking, oh, this is not good. But we went a long ways from there, so we're proud of the kids, proud of the staff. I'd like to thank my mom and dad. My mom's over here, Cecilia. My dad, he's running people all over the place. You guys know what your parents did for you, even at my age. I still appreciate it. And I got to say, my mom was one of those people, I never understood why I had to wear perfectly white, clean practice pants every day to football practice. From the time I was 9 to like 18. It didn't make a lot of sense, but that was my mother, Sil. Thank you. It was really a family affair with my kids going through the program from midget football, my son JJ, my daughter Jenna, with the cheerleading, and we won the conference each year with them, so those are special times. My wife was the cheerleading sponsor during those times. So those are really great memories, and to thank her for the time I moved to the elementary school with a couple, there were a few scheduling problems, and I asked two young teachers at the school, their husbands coached at Kiski, and I said, how's the team look? How are they going to do this year? And they said, really, we don't care. We hope they lose every game. We hope they get fired. I want my husband at home, and I'm done with it. And they weren't kidding. And so I went home and thanked her a lot because she never once said anything to me. So I know that was tough on her. But I accept the award on behalf of the communities at Rural Valley and Fort City, my coaches, my family, everybody involved who helped me out. And just in closing, I'd like to say that I think the world needs better people than it needs football players. But at Fort City, for the longest time, we were really fortunate to have both. Thank you very much.
John, I know why your mother wanted those sweaty pants. I'm like you, I didn't like those smelly uniforms. Okay, our next inductee is Brian Newton, who's being inducted for football. Brian is a graduate of Apollo Ridge High School and served his country as a member of the United States Marine Corps. He had a great career at Apollo Ridge High School. He was first-team all-conference running back, defensive back, and kick returner. He rushed for 1,500 yards as a senior and had numerous 200-yard games. During his senior year, Brian was named All-Conference Player of the Year and Team MVP. For his accomplishments, he was named Player of the Week and Player of the Year numerous times by the Indiana Gazette, Leader Times, Valley News Dispatch, Comcast Cable, and the Old Buttermilk Falls Gazette. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Brian Newton.
Hello, everybody. I got to follow John's speech here. I actually went against John's team twice, or 3 times. Unfortunately, I got to win 1 time. He took me out my sophomore and junior year. Good job, John. All right, just wanted to thank everybody for this prestigious award. This is awesome. Feel kind of out of place up here, standing with all these gentlemen and the ladies and gentlemen up here. Good job, everybody. I just want to thank my wife and daughter for coming here. Mackenzie, I hope to see you up here sometime here in the future. Keep your head up. Keep going, girl. Also want to thank Larry Signetti. He's the gentleman that got me going, my first coach as a sophomore. He looked at me as starting as an actual freshman, but I actually turned him down and didn't go out as a freshman. Also want to thank Mr. Dusso, Dominic Dusso. He's the one that put my name on this. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. The rest of my coaches, the rest of the players I played with, and everybody, thank you so much for this prestigious award. All right, thank you. That's it.
Listen, as a defensive coordinator in Freeport, I had to defense this guy 3 years, so I know what kind of ball player he was. Okay, our next inductee is Tom Coons, being inducted for football. Tom's graduated Katanning High School and Grove City College. While at Katanning, he was a 3-year starter at running back and linebacker and was named to the all-conference team for both positions. As a senior, he was team captain and MVP. Tom was also a member of the basketball team in Katanning. He went on to Grove City College, where he was a 4-year starter at linebacker and was voted team captain as a junior and senior. He was a leading tackler all 4 years. For his efforts, Tom was named team MVP and received the Mr. Intimidation Award. He was selected to numerous all-conference and all-district teams. In 1985, Tom was hired to coach the linebackers at Grove City. He also has been involved coaching many youth sports. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Tom Coons.
Well, I don't know about these guys, but I'm a little nervous here. So I got a speech laid out, but I just wanted to ad-lib just a little bit just to kind of illustrate how important this is. Here a few, I guess a couple months ago when I first heard about, this event, I remember coming back from a Highlands State basketball game and getting a call from my boy that was on a bus and having him say, "Dad, I just saw there was an article about you in the paper that you're getting inducted in the Hall of Fame." And then he paused a second and goes, "Wow, I'm really proud of you, Dad." And at that moment I thought, wow, my boy's looking at me in a whole different light, that, maybe some of these old stories that I told him, some of them maybe actually were true. But getting back to my little speech here that guaranteed to be under 4 minutes. As a lot of us know, that as we get older and reflect back on our life and all the fun that we had playing sports, it really leads me to realize how lucky I am to have the family that I have and the positive impacts that we all had on each other. Growing up as a middle of 5 kids who were all extremely active in sports, there was nothing like older brother beating up on you to make you better and tougher. When I got a call from Dennis about the Hall of Fame, my response was, "Are you sure you got the right punch, brother?" Starting with my oldest brother, Jim, who had a very successful high school career at Katanning and also played basketball, college basketball up at RPI. He started as a freshman and ended up setting an RPI record for most career minutes played. And then my second brother, Bill, I had fun playing with Bill, who to this day, I would say is the toughest and hardest hitting linebacker that I ever played with or against. He had no competition from the rest of his teammates when he won the Katanning Hitman jacket, which I would sneak in his room and try the jacket on every once in a while. His hits were so hard that they'd probably be outlawed today. Bill went on to have a great career playing linebacker at Cal State. Then there's my youngest brother, John, who we'd all consider to be the best athlete of the family. John set rushing and touchdown records while at Katanning and went on to play college ball at Grove City. He was team captain and had a great career at Grove City also. And then not to forget our sister Suzanne, who along with her husband Joe Kromka, produced 8 extremely successful and athletic children. We always wondered how she would have done if she would have played sports instead of being a cheerleader. Of course, there was our parents who supported us all along and focused their entire lives about us kids. They would try to never miss any of our high school or college games. Pap that's sitting over there, he still goes to every single game that he can for his 20 grandkids. When I was a freshman in college, I began to realize that not only could I compete at this level, but that I was actually much better prepared than the kids from some of the big fancy high schools. Of course, not to say Katanning wasn't a fancy high school, but you know what I mean. I would brag to my teammates that I had the best high school coach with the great Terry Beckwith, and also the best defensive coach in Sam Panchek over here. I was so excited when I heard that Sam would be here today, and as he certainly deserves recognition. At Katanning, we always knew we were going to be in for a tough practice when Sam would yell at the sidelines for somebody to throw him a helmet to put on. I had a bit of a reputation of being a little crazy on the field myself, and I know that I got that from a combination of my brother Bill and from Sam being my coach. Harry and Sam still brought out the toughness in each of us and helped us to make the people that we are today. So I'm really proud, Sam, to be here with you. I would like to conclude by saying that I'm not even close to being the best athlete in my own family. My wife would kill me if she knew that I was going to talk about her. And to tell you, there's a picture of her in the trophy case up at the University of Toronto for her achievements in swimming and water polo. Our daughter, Susie, became quite a good swimmer herself and set a few swimming records. She's currently studying to be a teacher at Slippery Rock University. And then there was my son, Jimmy, who's a pretty darn good high school basketball and baseball player and posted some impressive numbers. Jimmy accepted a scholarship to play baseball as a pitcher at Eastern Michigan. Again, I'd like to thank everybody from the Armstrong County Sports Hall of Fame for this incredible honor, and looking forward to coming here again in the near future to hopefully celebrate, one of the other family members here. Thank you very much. Did I make it under 4 minutes?
Thanks, Tom. Congratulations. Okay, our next inductee is Tom Phillips, being inducted as a volleyball coach. Tom is a graduate of Freeport High School and Butler Community College. He has been head volleyball coach since 2001, and I went to Freeport too, and Tom was a little behind me, but Mr. Bob Eisenberg, my good friend and teammate, had to beg Tom to take the job. I can't coach, but he took the job, and now the rest is history. Tom also owns and operates Big Valley Volleyball. To date, his teams have won 18 section titles consecutive, 7 WPL titles, 4 WPL runner-ups, and 2 PIA state championships. He has a career record of 405 and 38. Tom has been selected to numerous Coach of the Year honors and will also be inducted in about 3 weeks in the Alakiski Sports Hall of Fame. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Tom Phillips.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All righty. Well, first of all, I want to thank all the people that were instrumental in putting me in this position. I've been coaching at Freeport for 23 years now, and my good friend, Mr. Ike Eisenberg, was the guy that got me involved in this. Ike and I were Little League baseball coaches together. We coached an 8- and 9-year-old team, and we're very successful with it. Ike said to me, Tom, you really need to get involved in the volleyball program. At that time, I I was playing a lot of volleyball. I was playing sometimes 3, 4 nights a week. And I looked at him and said, seriously, high school girls, are you kidding me? He assured me that I would be fine. I said to him, Ike, out of respect for you and as a good friend, I will go on the interview. Joe Malak was our superintendent at Freeport at that time. And so I went on the interview. And lo and behold, a week later, I was Freeport volleyball coach. And I thought to myself, what did I ever get myself into? I want to start by saying that as a high school graduate, I graduated from Freeport. I tell people all the time I bleed blue and gold because I was a Freeport graduate. But I was a dirt track race car driver. For 15 years, my life was Lernerville Speedway. And, you know, for those 15 years, that's all I did. The last thing on my mind was ever playing volleyball. But after 15 years of racing, and I had a successful career racing, but my father passed away. And my father was obviously one of my strongest components to, he never missed a race that I was in, ever. And I lost a little luster after he passed away. So I got married in 1986. My wife and I began playing co-ed volleyball. And met a lot of great people, Ended up actually putting volleyball courts in my house. And just volleyball consumed me. I went from playing co-ed volleyball to playing in a men's travel league, playing as much as I could. And when Ike came to me and said, hey, you know, I want you to go on this interview, like I said, I couldn't believe my first encounter after I got the job. I went in the gym, and there were 36 girls looking at me. And I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, you know, what am I going to do with this? But, you know, I love my job. And there are so many people that I want to thank that have helped me along my way. My wife, for 23 years, has been a mainstay in my program. She was everything from a voluntary assistant to a JV coach to a scorekeeper. My 2 sons, Jared and my stepson, Tony Corso, I want to thank both of them also for being so instrumental in my program. Everybody in my family lived and breathed volleyball. Because I didn't have a boys team at Freeport, both my sons became voluntary assistants and both helped in my program. Jared, when I took over the program in 2001, was a 6th grader. And as a 6th grader, he would go to football games with his buddies, and after riding the bus and with all the senior girls in the back of the bus, he would walk around to football games and all these girls would say hello to him, all these senior girls and junior girls. And I remember one day, him and I were riding home from practice, and he said to me, Dad, how long are you going to do this? And I said, why do you ask, Jared? He said, well, I just hope you do it for 6 more years, at least until I'm a senior. Because I'm having the time of my life. So, you know, I've met so many great people through volleyball. I've had such great teams at Freeport. You know, I also coached the middle school team program there. That was one of my stipulations that I had, that not only do I coach the high school team, but to build a program, you need to coach the middle school team, which I have for 23 years. This year was probably one of the most fantastic years that we've ever had at Freeport. You know, we won our 18th straight section title. We won the WPIL title, and we went on to become the PIAA state champions for the second time. Just a tremendous, tremendous run for me. I thank the good Lord every day. I had an encounter after my 2017 state championship that we won. A couple months after that championship, I was diagnosed with having double bacterial pneumonia. And I spent 6 days in the hospital. And while I was in the hospital, they found out that I had a hole in my heart. And I went in to have this procedure repaired. Everything was fine. The beginning of 2019, I had a massive heart attack. At 3:30 in the morning, I got up to let my dogs out. And thank God my wife doesn't listen to me. I fell to the floor. I got up. She came running, saying she was going to call 911. And I was screaming at her, saying, no, I'll be okay, I'll be okay. But like I said, thank God she doesn't listen to me. She called 911. The paramedics came, put me in an ambulance. I went to the Butler Hospital. Within 12 minutes of arriving at the Butler Hospital, I was on the operating table. I had 100% blockage on the coronary artery. And those of you that know anything about that, you know what that's all about. I said to my doctor after my first visit, I said, Dr. Kusick, could have I died over this? And he said to me, Tom, 80% of the people that go through this are not here today. So I looked at life as having a second chance, And, you know, I thank the good Lord every single day for an opportunity for me to live my life and to see my grandchildren and to watch my family grow. It made me a lot more compassionate about things. It made me appreciate things so much more. But like I say, I thank the good Lord every day. And I am so thankful to be blessed by so many great people, so many coaches that I've had. You know, I talk about people like my wife for 23 years, and both my sons for 5 and 6 years at being voluntary assistants. I think of Natalie Polino, 14 years as a JV coach for me. I think of Lindsay Panchak, Lindsay Rooney, you know, wonderful, wonderful coaches that I've had. You know, currently I have my libero from my 2017 state championship team, Claire Kreitzer. That's my JV coach, and her brother Grant, who went to Freeport and is very instrumental also in my program. But I've been so blessed with not only having great coaches in my program, but I've had great kids. I've had great kids that believe in me, believe in my program, and work hard to achieve success every single day. So that being said, I want to thank High Top Sports, Joe and Josh, wonderful job you guys did this year, following us and celebrating us with us. You know, we appreciate everything that you've done. And I want to let George know that I did bring my yellow hat, George. So that's my lucky yellow hat. But I just want to say thank you to everyone involved. Like I said, I love my job. People say, well, you're getting older, maybe you should think about retiring. But once I coach that middle school team and I see that 5'11", 7th grader coming in, I say, I got to see her the whole way through. So, you know, I look at this group of kids in front of me, so many of them volleyball players that have played for me, from Brindley to Cassidy to Ava to Anna. All of them played for me, and we love the sport. So I just want to say thank you to everybody. This is quite an honor for me, and I am so blessed. Thank you.
Okay, our next inductee, Keith Schwartzlander, being inducted for baseball. Keith is a graduate of Leesburg High School. He attended Allegheny Community College of Maryland and Allegheny County Community College of Pittsburgh. Keith has pitched at all levels from Little League to the major leagues. He was drafted in the 4th round by the Toronto Blue Jays, and while at Allegheny Community College of Pittsburgh, he was drafted and signed by the Pittsburgh Pirates. While on a rookie ball, he pitched a no-hitter against the Dodgers, and has distinction of pitching a no-hitter at every level he played in. He played Class A ball at Macon, Georgia, and while playing Class A ball, he ended up suffering a shoulder injury. Keith is joined in this Hall of Fame by his dad and his brother. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Keith Schwartzlander.
First off, I'd like to thank everybody here who came to support me. It was a lot of surprise. Gary and Diana, thank you. Actually, I'd like to start by thanking my parents for all the support that they have given me, both in life and in sports. I wish they were here today to enjoy this moment. Next, I would like to thank both my brothers, Brian and Jeff, and their wives, for all the support over the years and for all that you have done for me on and off the field. Brian, all the travels, going to all the tryout camps, giving up your time, taking me, that was awesome. Catching me down at Three River Stadium, we saw a lot of people. Jose De Leon, you got to catch some good guys. Probably broke a few fingers along the way, but it was a lot of fun. Jeff, for all the hard work we put together in the backyard, trying to teach me how to not turn my head on a ground ball, missed signals and pitching to you, and you know how that turned out. Both of us wasn't good. Well, and the best part of that all was at least I got out of cutting grass, because you know when you're pitching days, you can't cut grass. So I appreciate all that. I'd like to thank my wife Ann. She worked pretty hard on this speech, probably harder than me, but I'd like to thank her for this. My children, Ashley, Sean, Brandon, my granddaughters Noelle and Piper, and Noelle's here, for being proud of all my accomplishments in baseball. I'd like to thank the two of my best friends, Joe and Jeff, that are here with their wives. Joe, we played Little League ball, 9 years old up to high school, and best friends all through high school, and I think I might have beaten him a couple times in the leg, maybe twice in the same leg, not on purpose. Jeff and Linda. Jeff was later in life, and we played ball. We played a little softball, and a couple times I might have thrown a little bit too hard on him. Broke a couple of his fingers, but always amazed me. He was really mad at me, but as soon as the game was over, he was holding a beer with that hand. I never could figure that out. Never could figure that out. But thanks, guys. I appreciate it. I'd like to take the time to thank all my teammates and coaches from Little League on up to the pros. Each and every one of them played a part in my career to make me a better baseball player. I'd like to take the time to thank Denny Wolf and the committee for nominating me into the Hall of Fame. This is quite an honor for me to accept this award, to be inducted into the Hall of Fame along with my father, Melvin, and my brother, Brian, which we just spoke about. I'd like to congratulate all the inductees up here. Well-deserved. I know Sam and a few of them. It's quite an honor. To all these young ladies and gentlemen down here, give them heck in high school and college. Good luck to everything. Thank you.
Thank you, Keith. Okay, our next inductee is Sam Penchek, being inducted as a football coach. Sam graduated from Fort City High School and Slippery Rock State College. While at Fort City, he lettered in football, basketball, and baseball. Sam also helped lead the Fort City Legion team to the state finals. After college, he served as assistant coach and defensive coordinator for Katanning, Fort City, and Armstrong Central, where his defense has led the conference in many categories. He also helped all three programs in numerous playoff appearances. Sam became the head football coach at Katanning in 2001. He is now serving as an assistant football coach at West Shamokin High School. Served as an assistant head girls basketball coach at Katanning in Fort City, and he was also an assistant softball coach at Fort City and became the head coach at Katanning, where he led the team to the section championship and the WPL playoffs. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Sam Panchik.
Thank you, Bill. I know Bill for a long time. We always want to go head-to-head a lot of times. So we're still going head-to-head. First of all, I want to congratulate all the inductees here. It was a really good group, impressive group, and all you guys are well-deserved. So I want to congratulate you guys first. Secondly, I want to congratulate all you student-athletes, the whole teacher, okay? And always pursue your dream. Don't think it is impossible. Okay? As Jim Belvano said, never give up. Never give up. Just keep going at it. Keep plugging away at it, and you'll be successful. Okay? The third group I want to thank is Al Davis and Rick Wolf for nominating me, and also for voting for me. Was surprised when I found out. Okay, I think maybe it's because of my longevity. Okay, I don't know if that's true or not, but. All right, now, athletics has been in my blood ever since I could throw a ball. I've played ball my whole life, like it's Bill here. That's a showing our age, but it was the center of my life. And also, at the same time, I developed all kinds of friendships that I still have today. And that is important. Okay, athletics, teamwork, a lot of things. All right. When I was in high school, was a three-sport athlete. Okay. Then I became a teacher. Okay, then I coached 3 sports in high school, okay? And then the inevitable. I was 37 years old, and guess what? I got married. Okay? And then, next year, I had a girl. And then another girl. So I had to back away. So, and the one sport I did love was football, so everything else had to go away. But that was the beginning there. All right, now, back in my day, okay, a long time ago, all right, when you played any sport, you had to have both parents sign parent permission form. So I'm coming to play football, give it to my dad. My dad goes, sure, no problem. So he goes, go give it to your mother, and she was a little leery about signing it. And my dad looked at her and says, sign it, okay, he'll quit anyhow. All right? And 50 years later, I'm still doing it. Okay, so that was the thing. All right? Okay, all my successes, okay, as Tom said, and what he said is true. But I made one mistake when I used to put a helmet on. There sometimes I took the wrong helmet from the wrong person. I remember the one time I took a helmet from Mitch Farad. And I'm showing how to do stuff. I said, after I was done, I said, what the heck am I doing? You know, normally you're supposed to go against the smallest kid, not me. I picked the biggest one. But that was one of my trademarks. And now since I'm coaching West Shamokin, I haven't done that. Coach McCullough knows I did it, but now I haven't done it for years. But it's always like, it's really funny because when I said, give me a helmet, I have about 50 helmets right in my face. Anybody, here, I'll take mine. So, but the players is the one that made me successful. All right, we had a lot of good players. A couple of them made the NFL. A couple of them made it in college, like Tom. All right, but it was a privilege to coach these guys. All right, and there were some good days, there were some bad days. All right, and most of them were pretty good. All right, I'm a little toned down as coaches back there in West Shamokin, so I'm a little toned down from my former years. I was pretty intense. You have to be coaching with Coach Beckwith. All right? Okay, also, I worked with a lot of assistant coaches. You know, there's a lot of good assistant coaches out there. Boy, I'm telling you. And I had the opportunity to go a lot, even now at West Shamokin, there's a lot of good assistants that I'm really happy to be working with them. Still learning. Okay, I'm still learning. I know when I came out of college, I thought I knew everything about football. Boy, I like my eyes opened up real quick. You know, you don't. Okay? All right. Now, the head coaches I worked for and played for, okay, were really instrumental in my career. Okay, my first one was Coach Don Mays. Okay, I played for him. He brought me into coaching. All right? So he was the first major influence in my life. Okay? Secondly, the next one was Harry Beckwith. He was my mentor. I guess that all you guys who know me, wherever Harry was, there was this guy right beside him. That was me. All right? But Harry introduced me to a lot of people. All right? And he was very, very instrumental in a lot of things that I do today. Okay? And even when I was with Coach McCullough back there and Coach Reisman, I always say that a famous man taught us this. But one thing he taught me, he said, you know, you scream at somebody, but then 2 minutes later, put your arm around him. That was his forte. But the two things that Harry taught me, all right, and it wasn't about football. Okay? Two things he taught me was, number one, commitment. Better be committed. All right? And that's one thing he did taught. And the secondly was dependable. All right? He was always, you know, Harry's motto, and some of you guys from Freeport know, was play hard, party hard. And that's the way we did. And that's the way it was. But anytime Harry needed something, he knew I was going to be there. And one other guy he knew was going to be there was Tom DeCitera. And the last head coach I have here is Coach John McCullough back there. So I'm still with him. I hope he keeps me there. Hope I can contribute to him. Okay, I know a lot of people think the game has passed me by, but I still know a little bit yet with all the spread stuff. And I like to go back to the old days, but we'll never get back to there. So, but that is and I'm still learning from Coach McCullough too. Still learning from him. All right, even though he played for me, I was his boss back in the 90s. Now he's my boss. So a little turnaround, but he is very good. Okay, and I'll stay as long as he wants me. And finally, I know my wife's dreading this. Okay, is my family. Okay, I believe, and it's like all the coaches have said, and I really believe this, when you are in coaching, you better have a special wife. And I do. All right? She doesn't say anything when I say anything about football, it's always, okay, go ahead. We probably go on, how many vacations we going on? How many? 30-some years. Always football comes first. And she knows that. All right? But she's the one, she's my back. And during the games, when I was head coach for a while, all right, she always had my back in the stands. All right? There a few times, yeah, she got a little testy. Okay? Yeah? She knows that. You got tested. Okay? All right. Also, I want to thank my two daughters, Ashley and Lindsay. Okay, I always told somebody, I said, any guys date Lindsay or Ashley, you better know football. Better know. If you don't, she knows. Okay? Because, first of all, Lindsay, when she was younger, okay, we used to go to sleep watching football teams. I would hold her and she would watch right there. Okay? And they both became ball girls, and they kept me straight. I remember one game we played, we was losing at halftime, and I'm walking off the field. I was okay. And Lindsay goes, what are you going to do now? Oh, boy, the steam is coming to my ear. Steam came out, and boy, did I unload on somebody. But they were very instrumental. They were the ball girls. They were very good. Okay? And they got a lot of people because of that. Ashley would always go with me when we exchanged films. Always. She just wanted to go. I said, come on, let's go. So, but those people, both of them, Jeanette and Lindsay and Ashley, they're really fortunate. that they let me do what I do, love to do the best, that is to coach. Okay, and the last thing is, I just hope they let me continue to coach, and Coach McCullough and his staff still let me come around. But I really appreciate this honor. And like I said, I don't know whether people give this to me because of my longevity. Not many people stay here 50 years. All right, but it's still fun, and I want to thank you for getting me into the Hall of Fame. Thank you.
Okay, our next inductee, Pam Hobaugh, is going in for basketball. Actually, Pam has been for a lot of sports. Pam is a graduate of Port City High School and St. Vincent's College. About Port City, she lettered in basketball, softball, and volleyball, and was named MVP for the basketball and volleyball teams. Pam was selected to the Pittsburgh Press Girls Terrific 10 team and was the Port City student honoree. She sat up here for the Armstrong County Sports Hall of Fame. She received a scholarship to St. Vincent's College where she lettered in basketball and softball. She was one of the 8 girls to play on St. Vincent's first girls basketball team. She was selected as all-district catcher for 3 years and was the first woman to be inducted into St. Vincent's Hall of Fame. Pam went on to become the girls basketball coach at Port City, where her teams won 2 section titles and reached the WPL quarterfinals and semifinals. The 96-97 team garnered the program's first TIA playoff berth and reached the Final Four in 97 and 98. She coached in the 1998 Cager Classic and the Roundball Classic and had a career record of 95 and 37. Pam also shares this honor with her dad and her brother, who are also inductees. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Pam Hobaugh.
Every day I get up in front of kids and I have a plan and I know what I'm doing and I can just do what I do. And then it came to this and I thought, I got to talk to all these people. And I was a little nervous. So I happened to be texting with my brother one night, Brian, who's in this Hall of Fame. And he said, Shorty, he called me Shorty. He said, just be you, speak from your heart. So about 15 minutes after that, my brother Brad comes in. My brother Brad is at home with COVID, I think. And what am I going to do? I got a brother who's telling me this. I got a brother who's telling me that. So I asked one of my girlfriends over there, and I said, what do I do? And I'll take out the expletives. And she said, just say, gosh darn it, son of a gun, I made it. And drop the mic and walk out. I can't really do that because I got 3 tables of people over there that I love and adore, and I want to thank them. But when I got here, I'm looking around and I see so many people that I know, and I'm going to skip people. I don't mean to, but I love y'all, and I'm so appreciative for the impact you've had in my life. The one person I wanted to be here and is not here is my mom. In 2009, they had asked me to be a part of this, and my mom was dying at the time, and so I just didn't turn my papers in. But my mom was so tickled that I might be, with my dad and with my brother, that we might be the first father, son, and daughter group in here. And so I'm living this moment for my mom right now. She was sick from when I was 10 years old on. She taught me perseverance. She taught me persistence. She taught me to never give up and to never say die. And for that, my dad always called me a bulldog when I played, and I think that was because of my mother and the grace that she handled her illness with. I love my mom. But in the interim, I have a stepmom and I have mama number 2 sitting over there that have filled the void that I didn't think could be filled, and I want to tell them how much I love them and appreciate them. My speeches will look like Tom's. You've got this family that's full of athletes. how could I live up to my dad? How could I live up to my brother? My brother Brad, Brian is in the Hall of Fame. He was a pitcher in the minor leagues. They went to all the state playoffs in basketball and almost won. And Joe Krunka's over there. Joe Krunka doesn't know this, but the only time I ever got grounded was because I was playing a game of horse with him, and a tornado was coming, and I didn't notice it because I was actually winning, and I wanted to win that game. My mom's like, "Where were you?" I was like, "I was playing with Joe." But anyhow, I grew up like Tom. I had brothers who didn't let me win, and I can't explain to you the impact that my mom, my dad, and my brothers have had on me. When I asked these guys about the help for the speech, I thought to myself, it's not about me, it's about them. And I wanted to just thank these people in my family right now. We had all these posters on the wall when we were kids, and I realized that it wasn't those posters that were my idols, it was my family. And they still are to this day. So there are people other than my mom that can't be here. My Uncle Charlie, he just lived for boosting us up for all our athletic things that we were able to do. I have a cousin Michael who was in the Hall of Fame for baseball and the state championship. And I live to make these people proud. I live to stand up to their expectations and reputations. I want to say thanks to the committee for allowing. He got Hank Aaron to hit a pop-up fly, and that had to be amazing considering Hank was a home run king, But my dad would take me out in the yard, and he knew probably that I would talk about this. It made me feel that way. He made me feel like it was just as important to pitch to me as it was to pitch to Hank Aaron, and that was something really special about my dad. And I'm so thankful. I could talk forever about him, but they want us to go quickly. So, like Tom, he had a whole bunch of brothers, and, picture being a little girl and having brothers and them playing with you and not letting you in. And it made me tougher, and it made me better. And I'm very appreciative of that. My brother Brad's at home, but he was a catcher for my brother Brian, and I just thought all that catcher's gear was so cool. And you know what? I wanted to be a catcher, and I think my whole life that has defined me. I sat in front of the TV with the mask and the gear on, and I think I probably even put my brother's jockstrap on when I was little, not knowing what it was at age 5. Probably too much information, I guess. But anyhow, I used to catch them for my brother Brian, and we'd go out in the alley, and he would throw really hard at me. And if I didn't catch the ball, I was running down 2 alleys to get that ball. And I learned to be a better catcher. And, those are just like memories. I have so many things that I could talk about, but like I said, I'm going to just go quickly on that. My brother married Marge, and Marge wants to take credit for all of my athletic prowess. She says, I taught you everything you know. But really, she doesn't realize how much she has taught me. She has taught me so many things. When COVID hit, they came to live with me. I was feeling guilty. It was the best year of my life. Everybody was having a bad time, but I had this family with me. I got to stay with my 2 nephews that I absolutely adore. They are the light of my life. And my sister-in-law allows me to be like a second mom to them, and I will do that till the day I die. And Miss Mia, you are now put into that, honey, because you belong with us. I have an extended family with my sister-in-law's mom, and Louise and Paul and Susie and all of them. We've spent some significant times together, and I just wanted to say thank you for including me in that family. I'm just about done here. My friends are here, and they're sitting right at that table, and they share their love, their life, and their dogs with me, and I am so appreciative for that. I have a good friend at home who isn't feeling well, and I miss her for not being able to be here. And these guys have helped me navigate through some really tough times in my life, and I just want to thank them. I know I'm missing some things here, but I got Bobby and Eddie here, and Bobby and Eddie, they had camps when we were little, and it put all of our families together. And my cousins were like my brothers and sisters. And that set a tone for my family that has been just an amazing life to grow up in. Danny and Mike, you know, you guys let me play with you. We always played girls and boys versus the boys, and they didn't cut me any slack. And I can only say they made me better. So I want to thank everybody here. I want to thank the committee. I want to thank Mr. Rosenberger, Mr. Panchik, and everybody that's sitting here that I have a nice relationship with. And just know how much I appreciate them and the teams that I've played on, the kids that I've coached. I mean, they made this all possible for me. So I just want to say thank you for your attention, and good luck to everybody. All right? Thank you.
Thank you, Pam. Okay, our next inductee is John Boyden. He's getting a special award for military. Now, we put this in a number of years ago because we felt that in Armstrong County there was a number of athletes who served their country, and we wanted to recognize them. And this has been a nice award over the years. I don't know, who may be the only Hall of Fame that does this. Denny may be able to answer that, but it's nice to do that. Now, John was a graduate of Kiski High School and attended New Western College. He lettered in baseball as a freshman at the old Vanderbilt High School. Then they merged and became Kiski Area High School. He would letter 3 years in football and baseball. Back in those days, a lot of freshmen didn't play. They had their own freshman teams. The 1964 Kiski football team went undefeated and did not reach the playoffs because of the old Gardner point system. And I'll tell you what, that team, if they had the playoff system today, I honestly think they might have won the WPL title. They were loaded, a great team. John went on to play running back in college for 1 year. As a baseball player, he had tryouts with the Tigers, Yankees, and Pirates. While a member of the United States Marine Corps, he played running back for 1 year and then was deployed to Vietnam as a helicopter gunner and ordnance man. And my best memory of John is I was a 10-year-old kid, and I was bat boy for the Freeport American Legion, and John and some of the people from Kiski and Hardrock played for us. And John was one heck of a ball player for them, so he led them to the state championship that year. They ended up losing, but they went there. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome, and thank him for serving our country along with Brian down there, John McCoy.
Hey, thanks, Frank. Well, to get it started here, they threw me a curve. Normally on some of these events, I'm the last person to speak. So usually the last guy's like the cleanup batter. So I hoped I was going to clean everything up tonight. They kind of threw the curve. What I want to do is want to point out the thank yous to the honored Hall of Fame for having me here, for the caterers that provided us with a good meal. The other people that I'd like to thank, well, I have a crowd of daughters down there and provided me with a bunch of grandkids. But I have two friends from school. Jerry Fredericks, one of the pitchers that I caught from Little League all the way up to American Legion baseball. Yeah, the only good thing I can say about Jerry, when he pitched, I didn't work so hard as a catcher. He hit the glove almost all the time. The other friend that I want to point out, he's been my buddy for 73 years. And if you talk about trouble, he and I got into it. So the other things that I want to point out, I'd like to give thanks to all the vets that's in this room tonight, whether you be man or woman. Thanks for your efforts to support the country. The other thing I want you to think about is there's a lot of people out on the coast and in the air and whatnot protecting us day by day. How many times do you stop to think about those people providing safety for us to do this? Take a moment or two out of the day, each day, and thank those people who are in the service. Other than that, have a good night and God bless.
Okay, thank you, John. All right, our next inductee is Lizzie, many of you know her, Swala Schaefer. and she's getting inducted to basketball. Now, Lizzie was a graduate of Fort City High School and attended Indiana University of Pennsylvania and Clarion University. While at Fort City, she was a 4-year letter winner in basketball. Lizzie helped lead the team to the WPL-PIA playoffs. She was Player of the Year by the Leader Times, Valley News Dispatch, and was WPL Player of the Year as a freshman and a 2-time All-State team selection. She led the AK Valley in scoring and career points leader. Lizzie was Fort City selection as a student honoree and sat up here when she was in high school. After transferring to Clarion, she was selected first team All-PSAC, West Region, Player of the Week, and Top 10 award winner. Lizzie was 33rd in the nation for scoring, 5th for free throw shooting, and 18th for foul shooting. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Lizzie Salon.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you to the Board of Governors for giving me the opportunity to speak tonight and share this wonderful moment with so many amazing members of our athletic community. I am honored and humbled to be here. But, as was told, this isn't my first time at the banquet. 18 years ago, at the age of 18, I sat down below as a student representative, listening to the inductee speeches and amazed by all their accomplishments. There was one thing in common with the speech of every inductee: the way their voices changed and their faces lit up when they talked about who assisted them in their athletic careers. It was after that night that I realized no matter what I accomplish, it cannot be done without those around me, my support system. Before that banquet, I had a slightly different perspective. At a very young age, I made up my mind I was going to be the first woman to play in the NBA. Mind you, there was no WNBA then. To make that dream come true, I knew I had to put in the time. Luckily, I had a father who shared my passion and a coach who opened doors. Even though he was a really good player in his day, my dad didn't play ball beyond high school. One day, he even shared with me his failed dreams of playing at the collegiate level. Now, I was even more determined. Dad and I soon became obsessed with shooting. It seems like we were always asking Coach Davis to open the gym, and he almost always did. At some point, Coach gave in and gave us our own key. As a matter of fact, I still have that key. It won't get me into anything anymore, but I kept it all these years as a reminder of the hard work and sacrifice that it took to be successful. Not just from me, but my family, my friends, and my coaches. And, Coach Davis, just to make sure you don't get into trouble, I want to give this key back to you. I'm sorry it's 18 years late, but please take it as a token of my thanks for everything you and Karen did for us. As my basketball career progressed, I realized my ambitious goal to play in the NBA might be a little far-fetched. And after hearing speeches like these 18 years ago, I came away with a new perspective and a new goal: to fulfill my father's dream, to play in college. All I really wanted was to walk with my mom and dad to the center court on senior night. Along that journey, I switched universities, I met my husband, and realized my support system was far greater than my parents. They included my sister, my brother, my grandma and Pat, my aunts, uncles, cousins, and best friends. And in the end, I accomplished that goal. Mom and Dad walked me out on senior night at Clarion University, and it was an unforgettable memory. We also won that game, and I scored my 1,000th point. If I were to pass along one piece of advice for Cassidy Adams, who's sitting in the same chair I was 18 years ago, it's not to be so focused on individual goals or accomplishments. Take a step back, be thankful. Understand there's people helping you in ways that you may not even know, Even though my dad was my hero, my everything growing up, it took me years to realize it was actually my mom, staying at home and doing everything behind the scenes. She was the true superhero. Now that I'm grown, she has become my idol, my everything. As my role is to stay at home like her and raise our two beautiful, intelligent, and very high energy boys, Nathan and Emerson. Now that my basketball playing days are in the rearview mirror, I'm ready to be one of those people. I will do all I can to help my boys realize their dreams, just like my mom and dad and the people seated at tables 37 and 38 did for me. Thank you.
Our next inductee is Clem Rosenberger, being inducted as a baseball coach. Clem graduated from Canning High School and Slippery Rock State College. He began his college coaching career at Canning High School. He served as an assistant coach and became the head coach in 1971. Clem's teams won 4 section titles and qualified for the WPL playoffs 2 times. He also coached the Canning Legion team, winning the section and qualifying for the state Legion playoffs. After retirement, he returned to coaching in 1988 at Fort City High School and helped lead the Sabres to a 3rd place finish in the PIA state playoffs. Clem became the head coach at Fort City in 1989 and 90. He went on to become assistant coach at Armstrong Central and eventually went back to Fort City High School. Clem also served as the athletic director at Canning High School. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Clem Rosenberger.
That one, first of all, say thank you to everybody here. Thank you for the board giving me this one. I listened to Pam's speech. I loved it because, yeah, I knew it.
Way to go, Clem. That was great. Okay, now, Jennifer, you're going to be the cleanup hitter here. So, our last inductee is Jennifer Cooper going in for diving. Jennifer is a graduate of Fort City High School and attended Clarion and Slippery Rock Universities. While competing as a diver with the YMCA program, she became a district, regional, and PA state champion. Jennifer was part of the University of Pittsburgh Aquatic Club and traveled from Fort City to Pittsburgh every day for practice and competitions. Over a 2-year period with the Aquatic Club, she finished 11th and 13th in the nation, and in 1982, she finished first on a 10-meter platform and 1-meter springboard. Jennifer was chosen to be part of the elite United States high diving team, where she got to perform in shows at Adventureland in Des Moines, Iowa, and Six Flags Parks in Chicago and St. Louis. Jennifer also shared this induction with her grandfather and her father. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Jennifer Recupero.
I'm nervous. So when family organization talks to people all day long as a teacher, I felt something similar. Even though I'm not a teacher, I am a therapist. So I deal with people every day, listening and talking about their problems, which is something I'm very familiar with doing. But standing up here in front of y'all and talking about myself is not really my cup of tea. So here we go. I believe life comes in chapters or in seasons. And my diving career was from the time I could remember being in the water until I was about 19 years old. So I stand before you now at 54, so you can see this is many, many years ago. But during that time, you know, I learned a lot of lessons about life. I learned a lot about dedication. I learned a lot about hard work. I also learned that in order to succeed, you have to fail. And failure is a part of life. You never get to enjoy the successes unless you're working hard and coming from the bottom at times. I was very blessed to have several different accolades in my time. But like everyone else up here was talking about, my father drove me day and night, starting at age 11 to the University of Pittsburgh, every night till I was a senior in high school. And then on the weekends, we would travel around the United States and Canada doing different competitions. Some of those rides home from practice were not always the easiest for me. And I didn't understand at the time what my dad was trying to teach me. That, again, he would try to tell me things that I did wrong, and I would get upset and I would cry. And he said, Jennifer, if you don't ever know what you did wrong, how are you ever going to get better and do what's right? And again, as a kid, I didn't quite understand it, but as an adult, I've learned to appreciate those words. So I'm real grateful to look over at the family that came here with me. So I want to say, first of all, to my sister, who also had a good athletic career. So she's 6 years younger than me, so when my dad was traveling around the world with me, then once I was done, it was her turn. And she played softball in high school and college and also did a traveling team. And thank you to her boyfriend for coming as well. I want to say thank you to the Dudas family for coming, especially Big Z, because he's the biggest athletic fan that I know. And also to my significant other, John. Even though my diving career was longer before you came, the last 26 years of my life, we've been through this thing called life, and it's been a great adventure. And then my son, Joseph, he's 28, and he's out in California. I think he would be remiss if I didn't say that he's always been a good supporter of me, and he told these guys to tape this thing so he could play it back later and he could laugh at me because he enjoys making fun of his mother. So I want to say congratulations to everyone up here. Thank you to the Hall of Fame committee. Tom, it was nice seeing you after 25, 30 years. Tom and I used to run around together with a group of friends when we were 20-some years old. So thank you to everyone, and I hope this was a good night for you all.
Okay, at this time, I have Jennifer Wolf up. He has a special announcement presentation. Jennifer, you want to pass it down?
Jenny was, please come to the podium.
I'd just like to say a couple of words. Why I'm up here is I'm not giving an award. Anyways, we'd like to remember our fellow board member who passed away about a year and a half ago, Brother Ed Bargerstock. He was very instrumental on our board. The meetings really went well. We had a lot of fun with him, and he really loved the community, sports, and he was a wonderful umpire. And I'd like to recognize his son, Ed Bargerstock, and his wife, Barry, in memory of their dad. Ed's back there.
Just a couple of words, my feelings of Ed also. I didn't know him when I came to this board in 2002. He was already here. And boy, what a rough son of a bee he is. And I really got to like him because he really loved the Hall of Fame. He was very supportive of everything he did. And I never had the privilege of meeting his family, but I got lucky one time during the COVID. One of the things I like to do, and I encourage people to do, we have a lot of sponsors if you look at our program book. If you can give any of these people any business, they would appreciate it. And let them know that you saw their ad in our program and you appreciate them supporting us. But anyway, I'm over at Worthington Harbor, folks, and I got a mask on. I run into Jeff Renwick, who's a former board member, and I said, how you doing? He said, where are you? And I took my mask off. Oh, it's Denny. Oh, okay. I said, where's Ed at? He's sitting over in the front porch. So I got my mask on. I go, yeah, how you doing? He says, who in the heck are you? This is Denny. So we had a nice talk for about half an hour, and he said that he was restricted to home, and then unfortunately things happened. But I felt very fortunate to have one last time with Ed. He was a great guy, and I'm sure he did a great job raising you guys. So thank you very much for your support.
You know, this is your program book. We have Richard Jameson there. We already read his bio. So, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Board of Governors, I want to thank and congratulate all these student honorees, and particularly these 2023 inductees. Let's give them all a big round of applause. Thank you. Okay, at this time, I want to bring Jared up for the benediction.